So the other day I was in my Facebook group and I asked the question, what is stopping you or slowing you down from showing up on video as a yoga teacher, and more specifically on YouTube as a yoga teacher? And I have some of those responses. In fact, there was a lot of responses. It makes sense. It's a group of like 50,000 people, most of them being yoga teachers. And I also asked through email as well, and I got even more responses back. And it's been really fun to read through them. So I wanted to share with you what I've noticed. And also stay tuned because I'm sharing 2 ways that you can show up on YouTube as a yoga teacher or a fitness professional. And it might be surprising because one of these ways is maybe something you haven't thought about before. And before I get into that, I want to share with you that I am creating, or have created, depending on when you're seeing this, a course for yoga teachers specifically to grow on YouTube. So it's YouTube for yoga teachers. And the reason I created this course is because there are some questions, nuances, differences as a yoga teacher versus someone else who has a business who wants to show up on YouTube. So I want to make this course specific for yoga teachers because you have different questions than someone who owns a bakery or someone who is a travel agent or whatever it is. So it's easier to be around a group of like-minded people who get you, which is yoga teachers. So anyway, I've got that course available. You can see details down below. You can also go to youtubeforyogateachers.com. I have that URL, so youtubeforyogateachers.com, and it should redirect to the course to give you more information. The few things that I've noticed that people said is stopping them is, number 1, it takes too much time. Too much time. Okay. Takes too much time to record the videos, to edit. It does take some time, yes, but that was one thing that a lot of people said is it takes too much time. The second thing is just simply editing. That's all they said. Or editing, it takes too much time, or it's confusing, or I don't know how to edit videos. Equipment was another one. So someone said they're bad at technology, or they don't have the right equipment. Not sure where to start was another one. Self-conscious or camera shy. Yep, I think we all start there. And then several people said that they don't have the proper background or setup, or they don't have anywhere in their home where they can film videos. Because when they think of themselves filming videos or being a yoga teacher on video, they think of asana or teaching a class or showing up teaching Warrior 2, Down Dog, Vinyasa, that kind of thing. So I can see where some of these reasons come into play and why we might think this. I do have a video though of the myths and misconceptions that I made a while ago, and you can watch it. I'll link it here, there. I'll link it here so that you can watch that video. It's a myths of online yoga teaching. Now I'm moving into the 2 ways to show up online as a yoga teacher. So there are 2 ways. Listen. The first way is what a lot of us assume a yoga teacher on YouTube would show up like. It's creating a video library of yoga classes and uploading them to YouTube. And maybe you think of your Zoom class replays, uploading them to YouTube, and that's a YouTube channel. Or you think of those big name yoga teachers like Yoga with such and such, and you look at their video library and it's all yoga classes, 10 minutes here, 30 minutes for this, a series of 30 days for back health. So it's showing up as a yoga teacher. And if you look at those videos and if you look at those bigger channels, it can be overwhelming because you can think, oh my goodness, it's going to take so much time to see any return. I have no audience. Who would even watch me? There are already thousands of videos out there. Why should I add to the noise? The reasons why you would do this if you wanted to show up as a yoga teacher on YouTube and create yoga videos is if it's fun for you, if you enjoy it, and if it's a hobby that you want to get into. This is not necessarily to grow your business, and it's not to grow you as a yoga teacher or make a lot of money. You would do this because you have fun, you enjoy it, you like sharing, you don't have any concerns about how many people are watching you, and you're okay if your growth is really slow. It's okay because you put it out there, you're growing your channel over many years. It's a very long-term strategy, and you're okay with slow incremental growth. In this way, you're likely never going to go viral because your videos are all very similar. They're yoga classes, and there's a lot of competition out there for yoga classes. And this is a great way to gain confidence as a yoga teacher, to put yourself out there if this is a hobby for you. It's super fun. So that is way number one. But I want to get into number two, which is what I recommend and what I enjoy doing and where we see a little bit more growth. And that's showing up on YouTube as a yoga business. There's a little bit more strategy here, and we have to get a little bit more creative. So as a yoga business, what we do is put out videos that not just teach yoga classes, but also answer common questions. So think of your YouTube channel like the space before and after class in your yoga studio lobby. So someone asks a question, like type into Google, or they walk into the lobby and they ask you a question. You're sitting at the front desk and they say, hey, do I have to bring my own props to yoga class? And then you answer that question. That would be a video. And so it's not just what happens in the yoga studio space, the class, but also those questions that people might have pulled out from the class or in the lobby or before or after, the what ifs, the story times, the conversations that you have. So there's a lot more that you can add to a YouTube channel beyond simply yoga classes. And what I recommend doing as a yoga business on YouTube is having a test phase to see what performs well. And then when you see what does well or what your audience relates with most, you then pull out more topics from that one video, essentially creating a content tree. That's what I call it anyway. And I have some examples here in my YouTube guide or my YouTube tips guide. You can get that. And I also have some examples of a content tree, but I'll explain it here. So for example, back in the day, I was sharing yoga mostly as a hobby on YouTube. So I was sharing a lot of yoga classes. And one of my classes randomly got a bunch of views. It was a 90-minute Ashtanga yoga class. The primary series, pretty much, and I was talking through it. And this is one of the first times I've ever taught on video. So if you actually watch that, and I will make sure to link it for you, it's pretty bad. My vocal tone, the way I teach, the way I talk, it's kind of blah. I got a ton of video views on it. And noticing that, if I'm keeping track, I noticed that there's so much more I could pull out from a 90-minute Ashtanga class. Number one is how to use props to adjust certain poses in Ashtanga practice. I could mention and tell the story of how the time I went to my first Ashtanga class and how sore I was for a week or more. I can talk about how to find Mysore Ashtanga classes in your area and what is a Mysore class. What does that mean? My experience with Mysore classes once a week. I can talk about, so many different things. What else can we pull from that? A lot of different props, a lot of stories, a lot of how-tos. So we can pull a lot of even 5-minute videos from this one that performed better than the others, which a lot of times we can call like a breakthrough video, or a video that not necessarily one that goes viral, but one that has a few more views. You can pull so much more from it. Another example of what I did to create a content tree or a web of videos stemming from one that performed well is my microphone videos. You might be watching this because you found me on YouTube because I talked about this microphone. And I talked about it once. The video did pretty well. I saw that, noticed it, and in almost 3 years, I've created over 30 more videos talking about microphone and audio tips. I am not an audio expert, but I can answer some questions. And the thing about YouTube is people will ask questions that you personally may think are so obvious. Like, why would someone ask a question like that? Isn't it obvious? It's common sense. Not really. I even have a video on how to adjust the volume of this microphone, and that video has a ton of views on it because that is a common question and something that might seem obvious, but something that I heard at least a couple times. So when people have questions, I use YouTube as my way to answer those questions. Some of you are in my Facebook group I mentioned at the beginning of this video. A lot of people will ask questions there too. And what I love about having my YouTube channel is I can answer those Facebook questions with a video. So if someone says, I don't know how to mirror classes, or how should I face the students? I struggle with my lefts and rights. I have a video that says how to mirror your yoga classes. I copy and paste that link, and that's how I answer. And it makes it way easier to answer questions rather than having to repeat myself time and time again. the people that join my programs, like that are paid programs, found me on YouTube. And I already know by the time they join my programs that we're already best friends. I just haven't met them yet. The last thing I want to say about using YouTube as a yoga business is that you're not keeping people on the platform. The goal is not to grow a large subscriber base. The goal is to take people off of YouTube and onto your website, onto your email list, into your paid programs. So that's where monetization and growth happens faster when you use YouTube as a video marketing strategy for a yoga business rather than a yoga teacher teaching library. If you show up with a variety of different videos, people get to know you, they get to know your teaching style, and you don't know what's going to land well with some people. So it's my recommendation that you show up as a yoga business using YouTube as a video marketing platform, directing to your business. But that's only if you want to make money and monetize. Whereas if you want to simply teach yoga, option number 1 is great. Create that space, create those yoga videos, and have fun with it. But regardless of which way you choose, I want to help you. And it might start with joining me inside of the YouTube for Yoga Teachers online course. If you're not quite ready for that, I will link up a couple other videos to help you out with video editing, a couple more YouTube tips and all of that. Just check out the description down below and in the cards and end screens. That is all I have for you today. If you want to learn more about YouTube for Yoga Teachers, go ahead and check out my online course, youtubeforyogateachers.com, and stay tuned because I will be sharing a little bit more about debunking some of these myths and reasons, and also just any other tips that I can share with you to hopefully direct you to working with me in the future. But if you want to just watch my YouTube videos, that's cool too. I'll share a couple right here.